Good morning. This is pre-recorded. I recorded it this morning at 10 a.m. I'm lying. I didn't do that. This is now. This is right now. You're watching it right now. We are live, and it is Monday at 6:30 in the p.m., not the a.m., in the p.m. And you can see what the day has done to me. I'm worn down from shuffling paper around and shipping it out, as well as copiers and printers and all like in paraphernalia, because that's what I do for a living. I really don't. I'm an IT professional, and that's why all of this works so flawlessly. And that's why you're all watching. I see all 0 of you watching right now, which is amazing. I don't mind. You'll come eventually. Or you'll watch and repeat, which is also fun. But tonight, it is the first of our 6:30 episodes. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are watching, please let me know. Give a shout out. Let us know that you appreciate what is happening here and you want to see more of it. I don't know if I want to see any more of it. I get tired of seeing my face all the time. And that's why I have guests, because I don't like just looking at my own face. I like looking at and talking to other people, because that's what's life. That's what's life. That's what's life. That's what you wrote down on the cue card? Are you kidding me? You're fired. That's what life is all about. Thank you. Thank you for correcting the cue card. I appreciate that. In any case, we have some lovely, lovely individuals on tonight for the program. I have Maggie Hart and Jose Ray, and they have been munching on our massive charcuterie board. It is 4 times the size it has ever been before. So I know they are just raring to go. If I don't catch them in mid-chew, which I hope that's not going to be the case, I'm going to bring them out right now, and we're going to chat. Hey, guys, what's going on? Oh, wait, I got to unmute you. You were muted for a second.
There we are.
There you are.
Delicious. The honey was perfection. The cheeses.
Locally sourced, top notch. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you to Van Doubleday for supplying us with those fine honeys.
Yay!
And thank you to Carmel Cowart and her family for supplying some lovely cheeses, some farm raised cheeses that are just delicious. If you haven't caught it, go to the farmer's market on Saturday, and you can catch some of that cheese and maybe some of that honey. I don't know if he sells any there.
I think I'm set up.
Well, the cheese is definitely a setup. You can find her cheeses over there, her family's cheeses.
Sweet.
I get those cue cards lined up.
Yes, he's shuffled them all around. I can't see anything he's showing now. Well, anyway, how are you guys doing?
We're surviving. We're thriving.
Getting by.
Yeah. Figuring it out. I feel like just like everyone else is. How are we reaching out and staying active with the community and performance and art, and we're doing okay.
That's good. That's good.
Playing myself and rummy,
A lot of gin rummy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're passing the time.
Yeah. We're doing a lot of puzzles here. A lot of puzzles.
Oh,
Yeah.
We did one at the top of the session. Something like I hadn't done since I was probably like 14 or something with my mom back at the house. I'm like, I'm gonna do a puzzle. Yeah, it's nice.
Speaking of
Mama
Ray.
That's Mama Ray, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
So you used to do puzzles with your mom. That's sweet. That's very sweet.
The dining room table just covered in all those little pieces. Yeah.
So have you looked into doing puzzles, like actually making puzzles yourself? Because I feel like that painting behind you would be a great puzzle.
You mean this painting right
here?
Yes,
that painting right there.
That I made.
Yes. That's amazing.
Yeah, somewhat that I did come up somewhere. I gotta get much better about making multiples of things. Because I spend a lot of time making these paintings, and then they're just boom out the one-off item. So is something I can put in the fold. But working large, I hear there are some folks in town I can talk to about getting a great reproduction or what the initial photo of it. The tricky part, because I can't scan something this large, but I hear the sources are out there.
I think they are, and
to do that.
If they are watching, yes, let us know. Anyone who knows about printing in large format on a massive scale.
Yes, yeah. And then we'll put it into a puzzle. You know, once I got that initial image, then the rest is just cake.
Yes, exactly. So, speaking of large format painting, you've done some recent work in the Starland area, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we just had the Starland Mural Project where I was working with 7 other artists, a lot of really great folks in town, and we each had a section of the Starland building. It has a little cube sectioned off in the wall already, so we just kind of locked in each of those and
that was with Clinton Edminster.
Clinton Edminster, yes, yeah.
Shout out to Clinton Edminster. Yes.
Yes, always doing great things.
Yeah, yeah.
What,
he's going to be in that runoff election.
Yes, District 1. Is it District 1?
3.
3.
Yeah.
3.
Oh God! It's so.
It's one of the ones. If you're in that area, you'll see his name on your ballot, right? Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Second district.
Oh, she's right. Of course.
Okay.
The black always right. Yeah.
Split the difference. It's the 2nd district. Exactly. So, yeah. Vote for Clinton. I got to say that. Yeah, he's a great guy. He has a great business down there.
Oh yeah, Starlandia. Absolutely. Yeah. We recently moved. That was like a block from our house before, so I would just be like, I wonder if they got this weird thing. I would just wander over there and take a stroll through the aisles. Because that's a nice thing, as opposed to like a regular art store. There's always you just got like these random crates of stuff. It'll be like old radio parts, just weird things to make art out of. In addition to having gouache and
material,
colored pencils and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we've dropped off quite a bit of stuff there along the years as our kids have gotten older and kind of phased out of boxes of art stuff. So it's a great thing that we picked up some stuff there too. It's pretty good business.
Heck yeah.
So you've done that. What have you done? A lot of artwork during this time?
Well, we recently were new homeowners, which was very exciting.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Which happened right when all this kind of hit the fan. So we didn't know if it was going to get the rug get pulled out from under us or whatnot. But luckily, it went through. So it's been kind of fortunate that all my DJ gigs were canceled, and I've just been able to focus on the house and getting my studio set up. So we're like 3 months in. I'm still getting things set up, but about to start getting back to a regular work routine. And I'm really looking forward to it. And we've been working through the process, but it's like weaving through mounds of boxes and things like the garage is still all cluttered up with furniture and stuff. But we're getting close now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're coming in live from Jose's studio and being able to have that space and for me to have an office and be able to offer my private lessons in that space, it feels really healthy. It feels like, okay, we're putting a lot of work towards something that we now own, and it just has a deeper meaning now, you know?
Yeah. I think owning a home is I don't know. It's kind of a little bit of a rite of passage. Not everybody has to own a home, but it is. And when you get in there, it definitely does take some time to get everything worked out and everything.
Yeah. And that's what we've been like talking about how long it's been. People are like, oh, it takes at least 6 months to get all the way moved in, and I believe it from what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, I think our neighbors are quite intrigued because we don't have curtains up in Jose's studio right now, and we've been doing these live DJ sets from this front room, his studio, and so he's got all the DJ lights up, and not a mirror ball, but I mean it looks like it looks cool, right? They're probably intrigued. So that's been super fun because there's a few projects that we've really been collaborating on professionally, and some of that DJ sets have been one of them now that we found our home.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to share a link to your DJ Twitch account if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
So people can check that.
Maggie's getting versed in the video skills. Like I'm making these video montage visuals. She's learning how to mix them and blend them over the top of me DJing.
Yeah.
So I think that's something interesting that we're going to bring into it, because a lot of like folks will do green screen or things like that, but ours is all merged visuals. We're like talking about filters and the way they mix over the top. So I think it's really interesting.
Well, when you're DJing out right downtown, I'll go and meet up with friends and have a drink or two, and this seems much more like a healthier way to experience the DJ life. So I'm all for it, and it's neat. It is neat layering and thinking about that in a theatrical way with projections on stage. But Jose's a stage, so how does that combine? It's pretty neat. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Well, what technology do you use to do all that?
We're using an OBS operating system. Yeah. We just upload those videos, and it's cool because it's like the stuff I do with Photoshop, where you're layering imagery with filters, but it's also like DJing with video. So like I understand that structure, and then kind of reference that to Maggie, and she's getting really good at like blending the videos, taking one out, and it's been really fun. And then the way the lights hit the surface of me, like that changes what filters through. It's just it's really cool, like the back end of it.
Yeah, playing with those filters, or magentas coming through, or the green, blue, what have you. So having control of that. Now, like we were talking about earlier, Chris, the technology, anytime the tech thing goes wrong, I mean, it's stressful. I get really worked up, but luckily we've only experienced that a couple times, so it's okay.
Well, that's good. It's good. Speaking of that, let's see. So you guys have been hosting this thing at El Rocco for a little while now.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can't share that. Give me a second here. There we go.
Ta-da!
Yay.
Yeah. So tell me about Bootleggers Boogie.
Yeah, this was March 30th gig. Bootleggers Boogie is a collaborative performance immersive project that Jose and I have been working on, along with Benjamin Upright, who does the purple parties, the Prince parties.
Yeah.
We've got a performance troupe that performs, and that's it's Richie Cook and Tani Kaza and Jamie Phelan, and Casey Bissett has been in there as well, and Tani's sister and Tabitha, and we've got Jose and Ben up on the deck and doing the music, and so far it's been 20s themed. So the guys set off the mood of the establishment, and then the performances come. We'll jump on stage. That was Minnie the Moocher there with
yeah. I didn't share it the right way, so I'm trying to fix that real quick. Yeah.
So the idea is that we took a lot of inspiration from excellent. So there are a lot of like not around here necessarily that I know of, but like in other larger cities, they have a lot of like electro swing kind of things where they're taking that style and to modern music. But we're really inspired, like as a DJ myself, really inspired by the like old jazz clubs of the like the 20s, 30s, and the atmosphere, or at least kind of what we've been shown of it, is that there were small spaces, and where the performer and the crowd was so energetic that overlap and merge, and a lot of times you would lose the boundaries of where the performer was and what their bounds were and where the crowd was. Mm-hmm. So that's really our idea, is that Ben and I are just creating a dance party vibe to all this, jazz and swing. And throughout that, you might just hear a holler in the back of the room. And then Maggie and the other they're like up on the bar dancing, hooting and hollering. And then so the crowd's like, what's going on? And then that merges into a performance. Mm-hmm. So therefore, it's just like DJing. You want to keep you never want there to be dead air, dead movement. So it's applying that to the performances, just like we think of the music with the DJing. Mm-hmm. And I really like that, because then they come up with theatrical ways to do that. Like another one is that like they're actually having like a quarrel. Richie and Maggie, they're like in the back fighting, but that goes into a song where they're trash talking each other on the mic, and they're coming through the crowd, and people are like, it's totally immersed, and that's the whole idea of it.
Yeah.
And there are moments where we'll have a dance off or a costume contest who has brought their A game, and House of Strut has been one of the sponsors for the event too. So if you're getting your glad rags, go to House of Strut for the event, and
absolutely
and dance off. Usually a bottle of champagne is gifted. So
since liquor probably helped you win the dance contest anyway, so just give you some more of that.
But it doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to
you
be.
can be sober and still enjoy the night.
Yeah, right. As James Holmes, who has often been a top contender.
Yes.
Soberest person in there. Just tears it up.
Yeah, that's true.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we got, but see, how are we going to adapt that to our times right now? How immersive theater, what does that look like now? I've seen videos of dancers where they're holding up a pole or something, and they're doing partner dances, but that's not the same. So
no.
we've got to rethink that. It's our time.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking of performance and theatrics and theater, so Maggie, your school was able to do one last performance before all this started, correct?
Wow, Chris. Yeah. We did Once Upon a Mattress. That was our main stage musical, and it was
St. Andrew's School. Let's go ahead and say, let everybody know.
Sure. Yes. So St. Andrew's School, the 2020 main stage musical was Once Upon a Mattress, and it was the first weekend of March, the weekend before we go into spring break, and we were on spring break when things really started to shut down. So I know that not a lot of schools were as lucky as we were, just in the timing, just in that, that's where the musical fell on the calendar. But I'm so thankful for that show, it was able to be put up, and also for those kids, the seniors. A lot of these moments have really been taken away from them, ripped away from them because of COVID, and I'm very thankful we got it in. Yeah,
that's great. But now this summer you're helping out with another theatrical group.
Yes, Savannah Children's Theater. They are they're in summer camps right now, and what an amazing thing to still offer that to the community. Know that the numbers are lower, the camps are much more not isolated, but they're with their group, and they're keeping those kids healthy and safe, and it's a lot more one-on-one work probably, and that that's a good thing to go back to those foundational skills and keeping the craft alive, but also, how can we transfer that to the screen? How can we, shine a spotlight on who comes in with all their equipment and the camera, and like you, Chris.
Okay, yeah.
With Moana. How can we be? Do we tell the actors, okay, you're going to look directly at the camera on this moment, and then Chris, you're gonna how many hours do you put in the editing room? That has to be a lot of work.
Yeah, so I'll say that it's a little bit fluid right now, because we're not really sure for each performance or each show how things are going to come together. For instance, last week, not this past week, because this past week we filmed, Giants in the Sky, which is a musical. And it has clear points where you can cut and then go to the next scene. But the week before, we had something called Oz, the deleted scenes, which was just straight through one scene and very back and forth banter the whole time. So there's not really any point where you can cut. Okay. So it's different for everyone that we do, I think. And we're basically having to adapt. But yeah, it's also different for the performer, for sure. And you mentioned that, in the fact that the person on stage isn't getting the same thing that they would get with a staged show. There's no audience.
Yes.
And it's very film-like. So you have to kind of teach them the concepts of film. In the fact, and also the concept that this is not a true filmed thing. It's you're directing your actions toward the audience still, but you have to keep in mind that part of that audience is the camera, and you have to try to ignore it.
Yeah.
All these layers.
Well, absolutely. And then they feed off of the energy of an audience. I mean, you know this, right, as a performer yourself. You react. The actor reacts from their reaction, and it's visceral. It's alive. Yeah. And it's interesting. As a director, am I going to say, okay, you're going to break that fourth wall and talk directly, to the camera in this moment to connect with your audience? Or how do you tell a rising third grader, this is the comedic timing, this is when your audience is going to react, and then you move on to the next moment? It's tricky.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky. So I'll tell you the one things that we were doing before, and you've got a show coming up, Moana. Have you already started with that?
No, we'll start the 6th.
Okay, the 6th. So
July.
Like the second week of July. But it's when you get to the end of this 2-week period where the kids are in camp and they're rehearsing and everything, that Thursday and Friday, what we've been doing is we've been doing kind of a cold filming to see if we can get some good material out of that. And then we'll do like the actual shooting the next day on that Friday. So it is a little different in that way, because normally during camp, you would run rehearsal all the way up until that Friday, and then you'd have your show on Friday, right?
Yes.
Or actually, no, on the weekend, right?
A Friday evening would be that opening performance for audiences. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little more condensed in that aspect, but I think the kids are able to adapt to it really well. They're and being in a smaller group, they seem to adjust well to that as well, because you don't have as many, I don't want to say conflicts.
Drama.
Drama. It's a smaller group, so you don't have as much drama, which is it's better. It's easier to control that way, not just from the virus standpoint, but also from the drama standpoint. I think it's but it's been very fluid and very experimental. But I think we've got some good stuff that's come out so far, and the parents have seemed to enjoy it, and the kids have really enjoyed it. So
nice. I'm so glad to hear it. That the children's theater is so important to our community. They just do so much.
They really do. Yeah, they really do. And going back to that theater aspect, so you've been doing theater since you were a child here in Savannah?
No, we're both Midwesterners.
Okay.
So I'm Southern Illinois and Kansas here. But yes, you are correct in that I have done theater since I was a child. Yes.
Yeah. So how did you get started then?
Well, my father owns a music store, Hart's Music Center.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the fourth generation with this music store. And my grandmother, Norma, played the piano and offered private lessons. And my mother was a home ec teacher and did the costumes for the schools, and just always a part of that scene. You know, Mom would put me in dance lessons or private vocal lessons, and Norma would hit my fingers with a pointer while playing the piano, and I try my best. It's always been it's always been a part of my life. Yes.
Yeah. And when you came to Savannah, what was your first experience in Savannah? Was it Collective Face or?
Yes, Collective Face 2009. My first production was the Glass Menagerie.
Okay.
Yeah. that will always be. I'll always remember that. I loved it. I love that experience.
Yeah.
And Muse, which I miss that space.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A great space.
Shout outs to Jen He and Mark Rand. I mean, they really, and then we started not collaborating, but the vinyl appreciation 912 was started up.
That was my first little touch of DJing here in Savannah. Vinyl appreciation nights there. So Muse is a big part for us.
Muse is a big part of our life.
Yeah. I think we all miss that space. That was truly a gem of a space, and some really amazing performances. I
hear the people around are pretty cool too. Jen He and Mark,
Oh,
of course, great people. Yes.
Yes, Mark and Jen He are very, very gracious and adoring people. I love them both.
Yeah.
I saw you I think I've seen you in 3 shows there. And I'm trying to think. Oh gosh, it was you, Chris Blair, Richie Cook, and oh man,
Bill DeYoung.
Yes, Bill DeYoung. Yes. Yeah, that was the Glass Menagerie.
No, that was Fool for Love.
Yes, that's right.
David Poole's set design. We were at a rake. That was I don't remember what degree it was, but it was a serious rake, which was cool to work on. You know, that dynamic between Richie and I, and pulling, and whose side are you on? You know, all that rising to the top. It was. His set designs are always incredible. And working with Richie, let me tell you, you gotta trust your acting partner to be able to go there and be, you know, Sam Shepard, who wrote Fool for Love. There's some physical, intense moments in his writing.
Yeah,
you gotta trust who's on that stage with you, especially when your hair gets caught in a suitcase, and then there's a chunk in the suitcase. Yeah, but
extensions gone.
Extensions are gone.
Oh, well, as long as it was extensions and not your actual hair. Although I'm sure a little of your actual hair may have gone with it.
But at first, I thought you were referencing Angels in America when you were mentioning those actors. Because I was like backstage. I was doing high-res window cleaning at the time, so I was familiar with harnessing and doing and rigging. So I rigged Jen He up. She was the angel at the end, and like the set dropped down, and I'm like, this most beloved figure of Savannah, Jen He, like her life is in my hands right now. Like I'm up there in the dark, like putting this harness on her and rigging these D-rings and straps to the scaffolding up in the ceiling, and she would just lunge forward like out over the crowd on this rigging I had made, and I was like,
oh my gosh. She's above Richie. Richie's in bed, you know, looking up at Jen He, and that was incredible. And we put little rocks and put like a pebble in some of the fabric and threw them out so that she looked like the angel. It was
right.
Glad she's okay.
Yes, we made it.
We made it through.
We suffer for our art.
Yes. Crucial.
You love it that much. Yes.
Yeah. And then I also saw you in Grey Gardens.
Oh my. Oh, it was great. what a tough role, though. Yes, that was I loved that production. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing production. You play your own mother.
Right.
Yeah.
First act.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we traveled to Little Edie. Yeah. A lot of vocal work with that. I remember meeting with Miss Vivian Machkowski with SCAD, one of my former SCAD professors, to be sure I was getting that dialect right, to honor her and honor the great following that is familiar with the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just noticed, or just saw the other day, that there's actually more footage that they just released.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. I'll send you a link afterwards so you can check that out. It's all weird and disturbing, but at the same time,
what do you mean?
So, and then we also shared the stage in Les Mis.
Yes, we did, at the historic Savannah Theater. Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, that was truly. I can't say enough about that experience. That was just an amazing thing to be a part of.
Yeah, it was epic.
Yeah, very epic.
Yeah, that stage was really.
Yeah, and were you in the second? They had a second mounting. They did.
Yes, I was. So I shared the stage with you in the first one, and then I can't remember exactly who they brought in. I remember. I think Mandy Matson did the second one.
I gotcha.
Yeah. She wasn't in the first one with you, correct?
Oh, I think she was.
She was. Okay, then never mind. She was in the first one, and maybe not the second one.
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right, it all just runs together.
It really does. It really, really does. So, what's next for you guys?
What is next?
Yeah.
I'm about halfway through this video series I've been doing with the Live Oak Public Library, where Tuesday at 3 p.m. I do a little art, like an art lesson. It's like 15, 20 minutes long. And they offered me the option to either go into the library and do it live or just record it here and send it out. And I'd been doing enough video editing over the last handful of years that I was like, I think I could do some cool stuff with that. So that's what I chose to do. So I made a little like intro, little jingle, and so I have little pop-up images and little sound effects. It's been pretty fun. Oh yes, nice. Look at you on the fly. Yeah.
Oh, this is very cool.
That's great. So Ben's the other DJ with Bootlegger Boogie, and Rachel is Ben's wife, but she was also our realtor with Celia Dunn. So.
Oh, wonderful. All
that connective tissue there.
Yes, love it.
Yeah, that was the first time I had a guest with, because that's a drawing game where like you draw something, then you hide it, the next person continues the drawing, so then you open it at the end. It's all these really bizarro drawings. And actually, if you tune in this Wednesday, you'll see this same outfit because we just shot the video like an hour before we jumped on here.
You didn't have to tell anybody that.
Yeah. No, it'll be a good tie-in. Yeah, it'll all make sense.
Okay, I'm not really sure what's going on here, but Jose, just read your book the other night.
Thank you so much, Forrest. That was great. I want to screenshot that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you hang on. Get a screenshot real quick.
Approved.
All right, you got it. Okay, you got it.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you, Go. Big fan of your work.
Yes, me too. Very, very much so. He was on a previous broadcast.
Oh, excellent.
So good dude. Well, great. I look forward to that Wednesday. Is there a specific time that releases on Wednesday?
Yeah, 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay, 3 p.m. Just in time for the little ones to get a drawing lesson.
That's right. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool. And they do have a little crafting moment after Jose as well. There's a segment at Live Oak Public Libraries.
Oh, it's like followed pretty quickly after with them doing another little art lesson. So it's like Wednesday Art Jam Day with the library Facebook page.
Very cool. Yeah, I will definitely link to their Facebook page in the Savannah Performance Project, so everybody can check that out.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I was supposed to do a spring tour, which I've done in years past with them, and then of course that was right when everything hit the fan right before that. So that all got canceled. So this is a nice way to kind of do something with the library still. Just shift the focus a little bit. But I love that challenge of like, here are the things you have to deal with. How can we make it the coolest thing? Because you can't just do the same thing. Like same thing with DJing. Like what makes DJing in a club really awesome may not be the same thing that makes DJing in your studio, broadcast on the internet. They might not be the same thing. So you got to kind of rethink the parameters, and I enjoy those issues, those hurdles.
Yeah, I think that's when we get put in a box, that's when we come up with some of our more interesting work, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my box has been, I get to talk to one group of people one time a day for 5 days, and and get people to come on and let's see, Savannah Stage Company, I think, was watching earlier or may still be watching.
Awesome. Love the Savannah Company. Yeah.
I think those 3 hearts were all for you specifically, but also for the Savannah Children's Theater. So we have some great coordination between our different groups here in Savannah, which I particularly enjoy.
Well, yes, and bravo to you for really reaching out to an eclectic group of people as well. Not just theatrical people, but those involved with tech and painting and live music. That's the part of the Savannah culture, that artistic community. So props to you, Chris. I think you should continue with this. I think you need a virtual tip jar and Venmo account. Send this guy money. He's doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's wonderful of you to say. We may do that soon. I've got to figure out the technology and also the legality. I don't know. I think it's totally legal. There's no reason.
Everyone else has to put money online, so you'll be fine.
Exactly.
That would be a great thing. Like when we get back to the actual theater, to have online like live interviews with the actors. I think it could be a nice little hype. Yeah,
I really do want to do that. And I've been trying to do that, trying to coordinate it now. Of course, with numbers going up, it's probably not the best time. But maybe when things get a little safer around here, we can do that and maybe have some 6 feet away, Zach Galifianakis between two ferns style interviews.
There you go.
We'll see. I'm not exactly him, which is probably a good thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to expect doing an interview with that guy.
No, not at all.
Does he mean that, or what's the?
But I honestly, this has been a joy for me to share this time with you guys and see some of your artwork, see what's going on. I did miss that one artwork. Let me pull that up real quick because I think people would enjoy seeing that. Let's see. You had a show in October.
Yeah, that's from a previous show. It just and it was very just the timing of things, sometimes they just fall into place. So my last show was at the Grand Bohemian Gallery at the Mansion, and that was March 12th, I think it was 12th or 4th, somewhere just before St. Patrick's Day. And as you know, St. Patrick's Day was canceled.
Right.
And I mean, I squeaked in. We were I remember being at the opening reception going, oh, we can't shake hands, but we can still hug, right? And hug it. But then 2 days later, it was oh, no. we gotta do that. Yeah. It's a whole new ball game.
So this was back at Sulphur Studios.
Yeah. So the first show was at Sulphur in October, and then the one at the Bohemian was in March. Yeah. So it was nice to just kind of piggyback those, and because I actually hadn't had a solo show, I don't think ever in Savannah, but I hadn't had a gallery show in 6-8 years maybe. So I was focusing more on like mural work, which I'm still doing, but it was nice to kind of jump back into it and now trying to create that momentum again.
Have you seen his Fauci mural on Waters and Victory?
Waters and Victory. I'm trying to think.
The
I haven't seen it,
right there, Park corner.
I will look for it.
Yeah. It's like just behind the Marathon gas station.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will definitely look for that. Victory and Waters.
Waters. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll check that out. As a family, we'll go and.
There we go.
Big fan of Fauci. Great guy.
A nice little outing. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. So.
Thank you so much for having us, Chris. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I've enjoyed having you guys on, and we'll look to maybe I could have you on one of my learning segments, and you could show me some sketch style.
There we go. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, I went to art school too.
What program?
I was majoring in video when I started. I switched to illustration, but then I switched to animation. So I'm trying to get back into that a little bit. We'll see what happens.
Nice. Heck yeah. So I went into painting, so I could just, I could do whatever with him.
Do it all. Yeah.
Taking like mixed media, then doing video, and then illustration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's super fun. I'm down. Just we'll book that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. You have a wonderful Monday night, and I will see you soon.
Thank you. See you later, Chris.
You're welcome. Bye. Lovely having them on tonight. I hope the rest of your Monday is as lovely as this has been. And I will see you next time. I plan on doing this tomorrow. I think. I'll be here. Bye. And I'm going to freeze. Sitcom freeze.